Hello one and all, this is Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. This time around, the Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Little Hope is the sequel to the first part of the Dark Pictures anthology that was Man of Medan that came out in 2019. And of course, they don't really change up the formula. SuperMassive Games, which was responsible for the Until Dawn PS4 exclusive game that was one of my favorite games of the PS4 generation. Man of Medan was a little bit different, but still very similar in nature, whereas this is completely different. Whereas you have these time jumps that are happening because one minute you're in modern day and the next you're pretty much the time of the Quakers, where religion is running deep throughout the society and communities that are now plagued by supposed witches. And that's the big thing about this game, is the fact that it's not linear, it's not chronological. There will be time jumps a lot when it comes to the story that you will have to pay attention to. And like so many other games in the genre, you will have to make a great amount of choices. In the case of Man of Medan and now Little Hope, heart and brain choices. Ones where you're thinking more from an emotional perspective, or one where you're thinking more from a logical or hopefully productive perspective, will dictate how the game plays out. Another major factor of Little Hope, just like in the previous games, is the quick time events. One thing I noticed about Little Hope compared to Man of Medan when it comes to the quick time events is that a majority of them are a lot more lenient in terms of time and reaction. Even more emphatic is the fact that there are notifications when a quick time event is about to happen. Just like when a choice is about to happen, your controller rumbles. A quick time event has an on-screen prompt that showcases what is going to happen if you succeed in that quick time event. And it actually was something that I had to get used to, because I just instinctively, when I saw the prompt come up, I hit a button, not originally understanding that the image was going to warn me that a quick time event was about to happen, so don't hit the button immediately. That was something I definitely had to get used to, and it affected some early quick time events, but once I got the hang of it, I was pretty much good to go. The same thing happened with the heartbeats. Man of Medan had this, Until Dawn had this as well, where you pretty much had to stay still and monitor your heartbeats by pressing a specific button. In the case of the PS4, the cross and the triangle button will be responsible for maintaining your heart rate, and if you don't, of course, depending on the situation, it could result in a character either being attacked or exposing themselves to danger. The tank style controls have been dialed down a little bit, but it's still kind of rough moving a character around. There are a plethora of collectibles, of course, scattered around each level. Not as many as Man of Medan or Until Dawn, so it's pretty simple to find them all. You can also play with friends. Thankfully, movie night returns, so you can play offline locally with 2 to 5 people controlling all the characters if you want to, or you can play with a friend online. So if you want to play through the whole story with a friend online, you can do that as well. And thankfully, the game, from what I'm seeing thus far, isn't that long, so you could probably sit down with a friend and finish the whole story in one sitting. Technically, the game is still very good. It doesn't look as great as, say, Until Dawn. It's pretty much on par with Man of Medan. Considering the environment, they didn't have to use as much lighting and different types of colors, though there are moments where everything does look very vibrant. The facials are very good when it comes to just looking at a character, but sometimes the mouths move very weirdly. Their mouths will work a little more animated than you would expect, considering the realistic look of the characters' faces. I haven't had any major crashes or game-breaking bugs. Overall, Little Hope is very similar to Man of Medan, just a little bit shorter from what I'm seeing. Not as vibrant, the characters aren't as annoying to a certain extent early on compared to Man of Medan's characters. But it's nothing that is revolutionary. It's nothing that's going to set the genre on its ear, very similar to what Until Dawn did. If you enjoyed Man of Medan, I think you might enjoy this a little bit more. I think the atmosphere is a lot better. I think you feel a little bit more of the spookiness of the entire environment, more than you did in Man of Medan. Now, if you're not a fan of the genre, once again, as I said, this is not a revolutionary take. It's not something that really will change your mind, but to me, at $30, it's a pretty good deal. I don't think that this is a game that you will feel that you've wasted your money on if you are a fan of the genre, if you are a fan of Man of Medan or Until Dawn. But if you're not, this is not the game for you. It won't change your mind or make you feel like this is something that you've been missing out on for a long time. So there you have it. This has been Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. The Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope, for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, if you don't mind, I have to go through this abandoned building, try to avoid the rats that are eating off of the rusted cans of peaches. And if I'm not careful, I will be pulled back into a time way before I was born, where they might feel that I'm being blasphemous when I say, "Oh Lordy."